What does the supply chain advantage look like? Start with 12,000 experienced teammates. Add the precision of 20 modern distribution centers, the reach of one of the nation's largest fleets, merchandising solutions that drive sales, and custom technology applications that make doing business easy. Together, it's how we enable you to buy better, sell smarter, and profit more. McLean, your supply chain advantage in action.
Hi, this is Steve Holtz for CSP TV, coming to you from the NATO show in Las Vegas, where a packed room of attendees just heard from Dr. Lawrence Deyton of the Center of Tobacco Products in the FDA. With a focus on building a relationship with tobacco retailers and manufacturers, Deyton began by summarizing his goals in overseeing the Tobacco Control Act.
I think of what we're doing in implementing this new law as some opportunities, but also some challenges. So in terms of the public health context of what we're doing, the opportunities and challenges are tobacco is a legal product in this country. Tobacco also has been part of our culture for centuries, and 20% of the population use tobacco. The challenge is that cigarette smoking is the leading cause of preventable disease, disability, and death, and that 90% of adult smokers started when they were teenagers.
Deyton summarized the first 20 months of the center's existence as establishing a framework for regulation.
This has sort of been a forced march for a new organization. Mind you, that's why I said I was the first employee of this new center in September of 2009, and we had some very tight legal requirements to get going, and we've been able to meet all of those. But despite that forced march, we have tried to emphasize, and I hope increasingly successfully, our communication with tobacco retailers, because you are a very important partner with FDA in implementing this law.
For the near future, the next step for the center will be focusing on menthol products.
The Tobacco Products Scientific Advisory Committee studied menthol. Their summary, and I'm quoting it here, is that removal of menthol cigarettes from the marketplace would benefit public health in the United States. They also, and this is a quote, they gave no specific regulatory actions as recommended. The tobacco industry also organized a scientific report on the issue of menthol, and so FDA now is considering the TIP-SAC report, the industry perspective document, and we also are continuing our own independent review of the available science, as well as any regulatory options available under the Tobacco Control Act to address the issues required in the law around menthol in cigarettes. That process is going to take some time, and because I want to make sure, I've heard from many stakeholders that people don't want to see this lost in the bureaucracy, I've promised to give a first progress report on our review of the science in June. So we'll be issuing updates on what's going on with menthol.
And moving forward into 2012, other items on the center's agenda include graphic health warnings, dissolvable tobacco products, modified risk products, and even the possibility of regulating cigars. And all of this Deyton wants to do with an overview of building a relationship between the center and retailers.
What I've realized in talking to various stakeholder groups and representatives of different people interested in implementing this law, be they large tobacco industry representatives, small tobacco growers, public health advocates, tobacco control advocates, citizens, that trust in this area really can be improved in all directions. And to be perfectly frank, it's why Ann and I are here today. We want to establish a relationship of good communication and trust. We may not always agree on everything, but we can disagree on things, but we don't need to be disagreeable, and we need to keep communicating with each other about how this is all going so that we can learn from each other.
The center can be contacted at ctpexecsec@fda.hhs.gov or by calling 1-877-CTP-1373. Reporting from Las Vegas for CSP TV, I'm Steve Holtz.